I now want to speak about the fracture, the entrance of the split identity in human beings. When sin entered the world through Adam and Eve, something deeper than disobedience occurred. It was the split of the human nature. The Apostle Paul captured this perfectly when he said, "For the good that I would, I did not, but the evil which I would not, that I do." This wasn't an apology. This was a confession of the soul. This was not coincidental. This was not about Paul alone. This is the dual nature of human beings. This is the power of choice. This is the power of self. This is the power of ego. When man assumes that he is in charge of himself and he's in charge of the things around him. In psychology, it is called cognitive dissonance. The tension between what we believe and how we behave. It is the same person, but the same person representing two perspectives and thinking. I don't want you to feel guilty because it happened to the great men of God. It happened to David, Solomon, Peter, all who grapple with their second nature. David, a man chosen by God, sinned against God. Solomon allowed himself to be deceived by foreign gods and foreign beauties and all that. Peter denied Christ. They all committed grave offense against God. But God knew in advance that we are all subject to the physical and to the weakness of the flesh. Hence the reason why the spirit and the flesh wrestle against each other. The Bible describes it as a war between the flesh and the spirit. They are contrary to each other and they even war against each other. So we live in a paradox. We desire righteousness but struggle with temptation. We seek peace but entertain conflict. We love deeply, yet there is hurt and pain. Good and evil are not separate forces. They are coexisting realities within the same human vessel. They coexist because their polarity, that is gravity, that is how Earth and the universe is kept together by attracting certain forces to keep them afloat. The polarity is needed for each other to exist. It is like electricity. You have the black and the red wire. One is the electrical wire and one is the ground wire, or positive and negative. So why does God allow good and evil to exist together or in the same space? It happened with Peter physically when the devil appeared over Peter's shoulder and Jesus had to speak to the devil. It happened with Job, where God and the enemy spoke about the life of Job. Now we arrive at the mystery. Why would a holy God allow good and evil to exist? You see, in order for us to inherit this wonderful life, this life that could be joy and happiness and peace, this life we got so that we could worship God and honor God. This life that we could enjoy the beauty and the things of life and the things of God. For us to get this life, we have to be born in the flesh. Even though we were created by God in the spirit, we have to take a physical birth like Jesus Christ to enjoy the life on this earth. And all these systems of the world are really based on this logic and this thinking. When you look at the three main institutions of the world, well, the three main entities of the world, religion, politics, and relationships, they are all wired in the spirit and in the flesh. And all are wired for power, control, and manipulation. That's the reason why tonight good and evil coexist and cannot be separated from each other, because the Holy Bible tells you that they exist together and they are contrary to each other. But there's another way to be separated. It is called to be born again. It is called to be a new creation. And that comes through transformation. of the heart, the soul, and the mind, which is actually the first commandment of God. Second reason why God allowed it is because in life we learn our lessons by experiencing life, by going through life, by walking life. And there is something interesting about revolutions and conflicts. Revolution and conflicts form nations. They form characters. So, just as the Holy Bible puts it, we must have trials and tribulations. Because tribulations produce perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. So, the challenge for us tonight is that we should control the flesh. The flesh shouldn't control us. Because we were given the flesh for a particular purpose. And for a particular reason. And that reason is that we were supposed to control the flesh. The third reason why God allowed good and evil to exist together is that purpose is revealed by contrast. Purpose is revealed spiritually by how things reflect each other. Just as how we have sin and repentance. Without sin, there was no need for repentance. Without being born of this world, there will be no need to be born again. Because our mind is contaminated, we have to be transformed. The mind has to be transformed again. So the reason why we have the flesh, which is weakness, and the spirit, which is power, is because you need one to have the other. You cannot fully understand light until you have encountered darkness. Light would have never existed if it didn't have darkness. You cannot appreciate mercy until you need forgiveness. Good becomes meaningful because evil exists.